All right. So next, we're going to have a presentation from Mr. Rene Coda. And Mr. Coda is the founder and principal owner of CMG Alliance. He's a Marine combat veteran and has 15 years of experience working with government procurement. One of the things that he's been doing recently is working with the One LA initiative, which is a great project down in Southern California. And he has been leading a procurement piece of that where they are helping small businesses kind of walk through the process of how do you get government contracts. And so we thought that he would be a perfect presenter for this group in kind of understanding how you go about thinking about pursuing government work, putting together that bid and proposal. What are the key things that you should have in the back of your mind? And again, he's we encountered him, met him through the One LA initiative, and if you're in Southern California, I encourage you to look it up. So, Mr. Coda, thank you so much for being with us today, and I'll hand it over to you.
Kevin, thank you very much for that introduction. Good morning, everybody. My name is Rene Coda. Like Kevin said, just to give you a little bit of background about our firm and specifically what we do. We specialize in government contracting and specifically one step further in business development. So the way our firm was started in 2008, I was a Marine Corps veteran, got out of the Marine Corps and saw that there were opportunities, contracting opportunities to go back to the Middle East at that time and to really make a great amount of money as an employee. Well, the entrepreneur in me said, well, listen, if I'm going to be an employee at that level, why not look at managing some of those contracts and, to put it bluntly, not get shot at while performing on that contract. So that's how our firm was born. And we rolled it out, put together some proof of concepts, and really skyrocketed at that point. So what I want to be able to convey to you out there is really within the government contracting realm. And when I use the term government contracting, federal, state, municipalities, counties, utilities, whatever the case is really having a solid strategy and having the data to back up those decisions that you're making. Who are you going to target? What specifically are you going to agency are you going to target? What size of contracts do you target? And really that comes from back-end research, forecasting. Put a hit on it a little bit earlier on about some of the pre-bid meetings that are out there. Understanding and knowing when those are coming down the pipeline is extremely important for you, especially as a smaller, diverse business, to really understand where to focus your energy on. And that's what we do directly for our clients. So the majority of our clients are small business as well. So we have a couple of large and medium-sized business clients as well. So what occurred with the One LA initiative, specifically the LA Area Chamber of Commerce came to us and said, listen, can you do this and bottle this up for some of our participants down here? And we said, absolutely. It looked like an easy process. And we run quite a few other different programs and different agencies throughout the country as well. But specifically with the One LA initiative, we came in and said, listen, we've got some very high expectations, meaning we want companies to walk out of here with an actual contract, not just train them, not just show them how to do it, but to actually walk out with a contract. And the procurement portion of the program, we've done a portion of this that was training. The procurement side of the program should end by the end of next month. So by the end of the year, we're talking about a 4-month process, 20 participants in there. We should be just north of $10 million in contract awards for those participants. And these, fill the entire spectrum from a company that was just starting out to some company that's got some past performance. So what I really am trying to convey to you, everybody out there that is looking and you've got some frustration on this side, tenacity is going to be the cornerstone of exactly what you need to have on the government contracting side, because it is not easy. It's going to tell you that, well, they're just handing out contracts because you're a DBE, DBPE, woman-owned, whatever the case is. I'm here to tell you they're not being as open as they should with you. And it is tough, and it should be tough, right? These are tax dollar contracts. So just understand, but there are the advantages out there. And this is where we as a firm really looked at and said, listen, how do you really take that, just make that a situation where your small business certification actually adds value? And if I could put it as plain as possible, it's this: look at the infrastructure of your business, look at the capacity, meaning if you can handle a $100,000 contract, what you need to be strategizing on is, how do I handle a $1 million contract? And obviously, the majority of your business owners, you would sit back and say, well, I just need money, chicken or the egg. I need a large contract to hire people. I can't hire people until I get a large contract. I would challenge you to somewhat think out of the box and say, okay, well, how do I get this done? Teaming agreements is a great situation and doesn't typically cost you any money, where you're looking at other, and they could be competitors, where you say, okay, let's look at a teaming or a partnership with a particular company that will be able to expand our capacity. Having a memorandum of understanding in place, meaning this: when you go to that agency and you say, listen, we're going to do $500,000 worth of work for you on the construction side, but we're prepared to go to 5 million. And here's how we're prepared. We have 3 partners that we've got an existing memorandum of understanding with, that when we get at capacity, we can take on more contracts, larger contracts, more sustainable contracts. And maybe it's bonding, where you've talked to your bonding agent. You said, listen, what about if we phase a particular contract? I've only got a $1 million bonding capacity with a $3 million aggregate, but I'm focused on $5 million contracts. Talking to your bonding contacts to say, listen, how do we get past this? Is it just financials? Can we phase that contract? Meaning, can you give me 4 different phases of $1 million contracts with that? And at the end, there's a lot of strategies on that side. So all that to say, I've got a very limited amount of time today, is it really boils down to strategy. So we're going to talk about proposals and bid submissions.